and welcome back to my channel. This is Sandra Ferrari with Real Estate Investing. What a pleasure to be here once again with you. And I know you're excited just like me about investing in real estate. So let's just dive in and build wealth together. Today, one of the topic I wanted to talk to you about is concerning an article I just read, and it really made me think. And I'm thinking about all of you, my friends, who are just starting to invest, or at least having this idea to invest in real estate. You have that little idea that's budgeting in your mind that you want to start. And I know your desire is strong. And one of the questions you may have is, where do I start? Seriously, where do you start? As I mentioned before, you could start in your own backyard, right? Or you can go and invest somewhere else as long as you do your due diligence, because your due diligence is important. Having said this, I'm going to set it aside and we're going to move forward, because the topic tonight is that I wanted to talk to you about friendly landlord states. So landlord friendly states that offers opportunities for real estate investors. Those are great states to invest in. And some of them I've invested in, not all of them, but we are going to talk about that. But first of all, let's just talk a little bit. In your opinion, tell me, anyone can write, tell me, what do you think makes a state landlord friendly? What do you think? Give me an idea of what you think might be an idea of what makes a state landlord friendly. Go ahead. You can write in your comments below. That's fine. Anything is, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. There's no such thing as a wrong answer, because if this is your opinion, that means that's what's holding you back to start investing. It's good to know. So if you have something, don't hesitate to put it down. That is just fine. No worries. Because one thing I can say to you guys is this: to operate as a landlord is one of the best ways to enter the real estate investment world. And having a landlord friendly state is going to make it really easier for you. Because if you know where to invest, the moment you invest, as I said, that's when you make your money or you lose your money. And don't forget, a friendly state, landlord state, is always going to be on your side. So to answer the question that I ask, some of the issues that people always bring forth is taxes. Yes, taxes. Because landlord tenant laws that are friendly and provide immense help for landlord regarding taxes, or give you less taxes to pay, always makes it greater, right? And the insurance rates, because when you're calling an insurance broker to try to get an insurance for your property, that could also eat away at your cash flow. So therefore, taxes, insurance, all of those are very important matters, right? When you're buying a property. And if you have a landlord-friendly state that caters to you, that is awesome. But what other areas do you think might be important? What about the eviction process? I remember having a property in New York. When you're in New York, you cannot get anyone out. People can tell you that. You can read about, that's the truth. But there are some landlord friendly states where the eviction process is so easy. You're asking yourself, why I didn't know about this? Because I can tell you, evictions are always the most feared aspect that real estate investors have. Because many landlords don't know what to do. When you have a tenant that's not paying, what do? If you have a state that allows them to stay in for a year or 2 years without paying, you're the one that's carrying that burden. But if you have a state that allows you to take action immediately and remove that person in the property, that's awesome. So eviction process, that a state that helps you. Wouldn't you want to work in a state like this? And also landlord and tenant rights. Not just, I believe in protecting tenant rights. Don't get me wrong. I'm here as a landlord, but I respect and honor my tenants, and I believe in their rights, but also landlord rights, right? Both sides have rights. And sometimes some laws are designed mostly for tenants and landlord not so much, because there have been some bad landlords, right? We know that. And also rent control. That's another issue. Because sometimes you cannot raise the rent, not just so, my friend. So that's why you have to do your due diligence. So that's an aspect. If it's a friendly state that allows you or helps you with rent control, how it is designed, how it can benefit you as a landlord as well as the tenant, that's a win-win for both sides. And also, some state will require that you do registration and licenses. Some states do. I've had one state that I had my property in, we had to register and we report on a yearly basis. We even had to pay taxes on that. I remember there was a cost we had to pay on a regular basis, on a yearly basis. So that's really important. And competition, because there's another area that people always talk about is competition. I'm going to tell you, when I started investing, I was attending all those meetings, conferences, seminars. One issue that people always talk about is location, location, location. Yes, it does matter. So if you do your due diligence, you know where to invest, which states offers you a better deal, and you know how to use it, I would say take it. And one last issue that was mentioned in this article as I was reading it, that was really interesting. It told us to beware of regulations after COVID-19. As you know, I know very well because I had uh, a multifamily property where my tenants, they, during COVID, they were exempt from paying. Guess who was not exempt from paying the mortgage? My business partner and I. So there were those policies that were mandated, eviction moratoriums, therefore you couldn't, rent freezes in certain areas. There was nothing you could do. So I believe in reserves. I mentioned that word before. We're not gonna sit on it a lot, but that's always, well, wise to have reserves because you never know when something can happen. So be aware of those regulations. I know some of the states have begun to relax some of those laws pertaining to the COVID-19 moratorium as well as rent freezes. So do your research and find out what those are. So those are the matters, issues at hand that people always bring forth when they are looking at an area to invest. And also there are many others, but those are some of the issues that are always thought of, or at least you should be thinking of if you weren't, to know where to actually invest. And if none of those areas that I'm going to mention now fit into your category, hey, don't worry, because if it's a good deal, it's a good deal anywhere. That I believe. All right. So historically, the best states for landlords. Everyone's ready? Drum roll. Let's go. Number one, Texas. Yes. Texas is one of the first one that was mentioned in the article. And we have followed by Indiana. I had several years back, my RIA, my Real Estate Investment Association, had a gentleman that came to speak at my RIA, and he had a lot of properties that in Indiana, and some of the members they purchased there, and they told me they did great. That was like some of the best investments they made. So I do know that's true. Indiana is pretty good. And it always, there are certain areas, I shouldn't say always, there are areas that appreciates more than others. So that's something to bear in mind. If you're not going for the cash flow, specifically a little bit of cash flow, but appreciation as well. So buy and hold, it's for you. Then the next one is Colorado. Yes. And also you have Alabama. My mentor has been investing heavily in Alabama. A lot of multifamilies he's been buying there, raising money, doing joint ventures. It is awesome. And Arizona, that's an area I was surprised. Yeah, it is part of the top 5 because Arizona, I remember I used to go to the National Real Estate Investment Association meetings that they used to have, like long weekend meetings, 3 days affair. And everyone from Arizona, I used to say how great their states are, even for flips. I was like, I am missing my calling. I should go over there. I should move over there and invest there. But this is an area that's hot as well. Then you have Florida. Florida has its up and down. You just got to watch the market, what's happening, do your research to know if something's going up, going down. Always follow the market. And you can ask, call the brokers, do your research, as I said, your due diligence. You can't go wrong. Illinois, I've never invested there. I remember trying to buy something. They wanted you to register. I think that's one of the states that asked you to have a license. I was like, I don't want to have a license. But that's one state that is landlord friendly. So If you can find something there, do it. The next one is Pennsylvania. Oh, yes, Pennsylvania. I have invested there. I love the state of Pennsylvania. I have invested there in certain areas. It was great. Another one, Ohio, which I love also. I've invested in that state. Oh, my God. Oh, quite a few states. You have Georgia next. Yes, Georgia. I know a lot of my real estate investors, my friends, they invest in Georgia. Then there's Kentucky as well, which is not far. If you're in Indiana, you can cross over a state. Sometimes I was driving in, I was in Indiana. The next thing I know, I was in Kentucky. I'm like, oh, that's right there. And Michigan. I know for a fact that the president of my RIA always mentioned Michigan, and we had so many real estate investors, my club, that invested there. And lastly, North Carolina. And I've met quite a few people when I go around to several real estate investment association events, seminars that talk about investing in North Carolina. So those are the states, my friend. Don't There's nothing holding you back now to invest. I'm giving you enough to see where you are, what you can do, what's happening, because you can do this. I'm telling you. Look, do your due diligence, look at those states that I mentioned. Perhaps you have families that are there, or friends from college, or brothers, sisters, your siblings, anyone. You can ask them to look at the market for you. If you find something you're interested in, you don't want to call a broker, you hesitating yet, have a family member that's near to take a look. Why not? Why not do that? Because as I was mentioning about Texas, one of the things about Texas that's really exciting is that it offers a wide variety of landlord advantages. And one of the most important reasons someone will go and invest there is lease violations. So when someone doesn't pay, remember I talked about the eviction process, how certain states you have to wait for a long time. I know for a fact in New York, you have to wait for a long time. It's not like that. Texas is not. Listen, they are more likely, the state has a propensity to favor landlords in lease violations. It's fairly easy to see why your rental property owners are in love with the prospect of buying assets in the Lone Star State. So that's an area not to miss if you can get eviction process done really fast. And I think the same also applies for Pennsylvania. I know where I was, you were able to use the eviction process really fast, really quick. If someone's not paying and you've been quite fair in giving them a break and it's not working out, there are times it's not working out. It's not that you're being a bad landlord and unfair. Think about it. You got to pay the mortgage, the bill, especially if I don't know how you will structure. Remember how you structure the lease. If you paying or they paying for some of those utilities. And even so, if it's not, you don't want the lien to be put on your house, right? That's another subject for another time. But still, you want to make sure that you are able to get those people out. In Indiana, the home value, okay, the medium home value, it's like 145 going up. It's well below the national average. So you want to buy something there, you can. And you have a medium rent over there. The median rent in Indiana is about 1,100 going up. So look at the area you're investing. So all of those are good for you. This is good information for you if you still undecided, you don't know where you want to go. Look at those states that I mentioned, and you also look at the state you want to look at. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a great opportunity for you to do this, to go out there and start searching. Colorado, I always love Colorado. I was thinking I should go and like skiing there. Imagine you have a property and every time you visit it and you go into a ski, and guess what? If you have an LLC, you could use this as a business. And you could go skiing if you like, or tubing, or whichever you want. Spend time with your families if you've never been there. And listen, the landlord, it's a very landlord friendly state. Tenants are given a mere 48 hours to get out of the home once everything's done properly. So listen, the eviction process does not drag over there, not too long. And Alabama, that's another state. Property taxes are second. The property tax rates are the second lowest in the country. Imagine, the second lowest. I have invested in places where I'm paying so much taxes. I don't know why I went there. And I'm like, did you do your due diligence, Sandra? Do you know that I look at the cash flow? It was great, but I didn't even think about the taxes because taxes can take a chunk out of your cash flow. So Alabama, great for property tax rates that are second lowest, in the country. Arizona, listen, favored eviction process. You have a 30-day notice. So everything is done really quick. You don't even, by the time you file a lawsuit, you probably will have that tenant out. So again, great place to be at for a new investor. At least you will have your money. You have a tenant that you have done your due diligence and verified prior to having gone to your property. Also, the same thing applies for Florida. Within having someone move out, as long as you yourself follow the guidelines, you're gonna do everything legally. Get your attorneys on board. Everything's fine. Illinois, they can set. What happened is the landlord can set their own prices for security deposit for their rental properties. Okay. The security though must be returned within 45 days unless the tenant owes money in rent. So you don't have to give it back. So that's easy. And their late fees are able to be charged. So it really gives you a great opportunity there to play around. If someone doesn't pay you, you can always have money that they have left and use it if they don't pay you. Isn't that great? Pennsylvania, I'm telling you, I was there. The eviction process did get me there. Okay, that was one of the easiest thing you can ever do. So beware of every city; they have their own laws. It's like Philadelphia differs than Pittsburgh. So please look into that. That requires that you do your own research. All right. Then Ohio. Oh my God. Becoming a landlord in Ohio, according to this article, and I know that's true because I was there, comes with the potential for tax write off, for mortgage appreciation, and improvements made to the property. And the eviction process is also fast. Guys, what's holding you back? Put your comments below. I want to hear them. I want to know what's holding you back because it's almost the end of the year and you can do this. There's a lot of opportunities out there and do not miss it. Do your research, start reading, like I said. And even if you have to take a few courses, I'm here to help. You have questions, that's why I'm here. Put your comments below. I'm so excited because you're here watching this, looking at this. It's giving you ideas. And I want to pump you up. I want to lift you up and push you forward because this is a process I believe in as having a second source of income. This second source, the second stream of income that you need. You may not even know that you need it because all it takes is lose that job. You wish you had something else coming in on a monthly basis. That will help. I wish I had this when that happened to me. So don't wait until like something bad happened, like losing your job or getting sick and you're unable to get help. That's when you're going to do this. My friends, I'm inviting you right now to make the choice for you, for your family, and to decide that this is what you're going to do. You can start studying now, getting involved, and start shaping your 2025 because you are taking that leap of faith and going to make a difference in your life. I'm so, like I said, I'm excited just talking about this because I wish I knew this. Let me see, 2008. That's 16 years ago. Have I known this? I would have been prepared. Do not be caught on, with your pants down, so to speak. Do not be caught on guard. Listen, you can do this. You're going to do it. You're working towards your goal. You want to do this for yourself, for your family, or if not for your family, even to give to donation. Perhaps your heart is set towards providing for others by even if it's charity, medical charities, like for cure of certain diseases or taking care of animals. All of this counts. This is, you see, this time of the year, this is the time I start thinking of others even more. How I can help the poor, how I can help, save one or two stray cats, because there's always two or three stray cats in my neighborhood, and I want to help. You want to feed them, you want to pet them. So all of this, if you have that extra money, you could do this. You can help others, help yourself. So I'm going to leave you with this. Take action. Do it. and build wealth together. We're going to do it. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.